Hello friends. In our series of expert views, interaction with experts of the industry, DEW Journal Live tries to focus on important and current issues and topics. My guest this time is a very eminent personality, an energy expert, Sridevi Bale. With over 2 decades of experience in energy industry, Sridevi is currently playing energy industry lead role in Accenture India, where she is responsible for driving innovation and providing digital solution to her customers. She is very passionate about energy transition and sustainability and is constantly helping her customers in transitioning to newer energies besides achieving efficiency in current operations. She is advisory member on several industry groups, both national and international, and providing her expertise in this space. I posed her some questions related to future energy, renewables, decarbonization, emission, and innovative technologies of the future. This is what she had to say. Over to Sridevi.
Thank you, Arun, for the wonderful introduction. Good to see you all. Yes, so before I get into the answering the question of how do we decarbonize the entire energy value chain, let's quickly understand the emissions what we are having today. So today we are having about 51 gigatons of global greenhouse gas emissions which is happening, out of which 40 gigatons directly relates to the emissions of carbon dioxide. And out of this, about 60 to 70% comes from by burning fossil fuels. So let's understand how can we control this fossil fuel burning so that we emit less and less of carbon dioxide. Now in this, 20% of it comes from the operations of oil and gas or the coal related plants itself. So how can we reduce emissions here? By ensuring better operational efficiencies, by ensuring that we do not flare off the gas, the associated gas which is getting produced, by ensuring that the methane gas emissions are reduced, and so on and so forth. The remaining 80% of the carbon dioxide comes at the combustion point. That is basically added by people like you and me at the retail side. So how do we reduce this? We reduce this obviously by switching into alternate or the renewable sources of energy like sun, wind, biofuels, hydrogen, and so on and so forth, which will emit less carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. So this, in my opinion, is a way to reduce the overall energy value chain, the decarbonization of energy value chain. So in my opinion, by 2050, there should be at least 60% of the energy demands being met by the renewable energy. As we speak, it is around 10 to 15%, and that needs to scale up to 60%. It is just not an absolute scaling from 10 to 15% to 60, but the energy demand in 2050 is going to be much more than the energy demand what we have now. So it's a 2050 energy demand, which out of which it has to be 60% has to be in renewables. What are the existing challenges in renewables? Well, there are many. I will touch upon 2 or 3 key important things. First and foremost, the most important challenge or the critical challenge what we have is the inconsistency. So as we know, the sun doesn't shine throughout the day and night. Similarly, the wind doesn't blow throughout the day and night, right? So there is cyclicity there is uncertainty there. So the question comes, what do we do for the time when there is no sun shining and there is no wind blowing, right? And that's when we need to start storing the energy. And to store energies, we need huge battery spaces, we need huge batteries, and that's a negative point. So the uncertainty is the first point, storage is another point. A third point is the technology itself is not very efficient. Even the most efficient solar panels what we have today only absorbs about 15 to 20% of sun energy which is falling on it. So there needs to be more and more innovation in that space to increase that. Also, there is a lot of debate going on what do we do with the solar panels after it kind of lives its life after 20 years. And the process of discarding that solar panels itself contributes a lot into the carbon dioxide emission. So there's a lot of challenges in that space as well. So yes, these are the main challenges what we're seeing within renewables. In my opinion, yes, consumers do play a big role. So I would like to sum it up as A, B, C, D for the customers. So from the first perspective that so consumers need to adapt to a better lifestyle. So what do I mean by that? They need to switch to LED bulbs. They need to have better energy efficient appliances at home. They need to be more cognizant of their own footprint and do all the things necessary to kind of reduce their footprint. Second, that's B, be mindful. So what does it mean? So I think 21st century has given us access to a lot of food, right? And we tend to waste a lot of food. So we need to be mindful of not wasting food, because this directly adds to the carbon dioxide emissions of what we add to the atmosphere. So food requires fertilizers to grow, and fertilizers comes from petrochemical industries, which in turn adds carbon dioxide. So we really need to be mindful of that, and we need to switch to more and more of plant-based diets, because it's well proven fact that livestock causes a lot of greenhouse gas emissions, which again contributes to increasing in the rise of temperature. Then C is change the way you move from point A to point B. So obviously it means you go on more and more of EV cars, EV motorcycles, EV mode of transportation, and ensure the electricity coming to your EV is coming from a renewable source. And finally, D is create the demand. Since you start demanding from your service providers to provide you with more greener options, and you should be willing to pay that extra premium to have the greener options made available to you. In this way, we can create more demand and kind of boost the production of the green products, and in turn bring down the cost of the green products. So that in my mind summarizes all the ways consumers can actually contribute in this direction. There are many innovations in this space, but I think there are 2 or 3 key things what I would like to call out. The first one is the direct air capture, both at point and without the at the point of operations and outside the point of operations. Now, this technology is known for sucking the air and removing the carbon dioxide from it and storing that carbon dioxide in different forms, or pushing it back to the below the surface of the earth, and later on that carbon dioxide can be used for other purposes. So there's a lot of innovation happening in this space. Secondly, in terms of battery storage, the current solid batteries are not good enough to meet the kind of requirement of storage what we have got. So there's a lot of innovation happening in terms of liquid batteries, flow batteries, and how do we store energy in molten salt and so on and so forth. The third innovation which I am keenly watching is how do we build electric transmission lines below the surface of the earth, or rather underground, so that we don't disturb the existing landscape and we still cater to the rising demand of electricity. So yes, these are the few innovations which we would like to watch out for. Thanks a lot, Arun. I really enjoyed talking to you. I wish you all the best for the future episodes. Thank you so much.